Lemonade, what when cars will be autonomous? Ciao, guys. Welcome back to Lorenzo to Sense podcast. And today I want to try answering a question that I think all of us enlightened that invested in Lemonade and that are very bullish on Lemonade are actually wondering for a few months now. So, in November 2024, the management of Lemonade unveiled its plan to grow from 1 billion to 10 billion in enforced premium in IFP at the Investor Day. And the main driver of such growth will be car insurance. So I think every one of us at this point um, believe that cars will be very soon autonomous, not at least for Tesla. And sure, it will take a while to spread and to get adoption because I don't think people, since day one, they will just rely and trust the car and everything will be autonomous in one day. So maybe it will take years for sure, even if the technology is available and ready. But eventually, we will get there. So, what happens when car becomes autonomous? It happens that crashes reduce a lot, go close to zero, right? The FSD, powered by vast telemetry data, could slash accident by 90 plus percent, shifting the liability to the manufacturer and threatening personal auto insurance. This is because in a world where basically we have no crash due to human behavior drives and capabilities, then probably most of the issues that you can have, crashes, for example, will be due to problems with the software or with the auto itself. So this means that most of the liability will be on Tesla in this case or on the car manufacturers. So this is an important shift. We don't know actually how this is going to impact, right? But for sure, the cost of car insurance will decrease a lot along with the risk, right? So what does it mean? This means that margins for car insurance will also decrease with the risk, meaning pricing, meaning margin, and this could drive car insurers out of business, actually, no? And I think this is actually the case, no doubt about it. In addition, lower margins means that insurance collect less cash to invest because a meaningful part of insurance profit comes from the money the cash that they get in advance that they invest in low risk financial investments, right? So if the IFP, if the premium decrease, also these proceeds decrease with that. So I think these dynamics could drive many incumbents out of business. And even single product insurance like Root may struggle despite still better than incumbents because they have just one product. So if all the profit comes from that product and it's going to diminish, to decrease a lot, they may struggle as well. So at the end, I think in this scenario, Lemonade emerged as a winner because, and of course, this is according to my thesis, they will soon become the most efficient insurance in the world. This is at acquiring and onboarding customer and managing claims. That is basically most of the cost of an insurer, right? So in this scenario, as I have explained, the cost for Lemonade will converge to the cost of marketing. And for cars, it may be even lower than that. This is, let me read the quote from Daniel Schreiber from the last earnings call. So all of our products and regions contributed to this dynamic of accelerating top line and improving profitability. Though it is worth spotlighting car, which saw 40% growth with more than half of that coming from existing Lemonade customers. Essentially, CAC-less acquisition, customer acquisition cost. So yeah, you got it well. 20% year-over-year car growth came with zero cost of acquisitions. Why? Because they are cross-selling on current customer base. So that's why I'm saying that a single product insurer like Root is going to struggle more than Lemonade, even if they have the same efficiency of Lemonade in theory. No, I don't think they have, but even in theory, if they could have it. So Lemonade is well positioned. And guys, this is according to my thesis that I stress on, that I say the cost for Lemonade tend to the marketing cost at the end. And if you're not familiar with it, I suggest go to see the video. I was a guest on the Antonio Linares podcast last week. And I think I had the opportunity to explain quite well, taking it through first principle, what is my thesis on Lemonade. So go check, watch that video that you can find. I will leave in the comments of this video the link, the direct link, or if you are reading, if you will read my article on lorenzo2sense.com, you can find directly in the article the link to it. So if you want, if you prefer, you can of course read all my articles, including the initial deep dive. But I think if you watch this video with 30 minutes, you will get everything you need to understand the thesis. So back to this that I'm explaining. So I think what I'm saying is that car insurance prices will get ridiculously low, margins crazy thin, and one of the few able to thrive under those circumstances will be Lemonade, which will enjoy low margins but high volume. So yes, low margins because the margins will be low even for Lemonade, but since they can afford to have very low prices, lower than competition that cannot afford it, they will get most of the market. So low margins, high volume, still this will be interesting and very profitable for them. And what make me think this is also that Shai Weininger, and in general, that is the co-founder of Lemonade, and in general, Lemonade management are very bullish on this. They are embracing this change. They are going to be the first very early in ensuring uh, Tesla with not supervised FSD. And here I'm reading from a tweet of Shai. Last week, he answered to Farsa that say FSD should collapse the cost of auto insurance if injuries and deaths go down by 90% plus, then the cost to insure should be way lower. And he answered true. This is the nightmare scenario for incumbent insurers. Think of the top line hit, what I was just explaining. And it's exactly what we are designing for and counting on happening. So Shai is bullish actually on this. So this makes me think that they must have an advantage and must be the advantage that I've just explained. So, as always happens with an innovator's dilemma, and I think we are exactly in that situation. When incumbents realize what's happening, it will be too late. Now, this is obvious if you think that the vast majority of people are still unaware that vehicle autonomy has been basically solved by Tesla. And even worse, those who are aware, including expert analysts, are still in the denial phase, pretending Tesla's unsupervised FSD is not happening, right? So now a final doubt that I think every one of us has. So why Tesla should not decide to dominate the space? At the end, they are the manufacturer. They have most data of everyone else, and they for sure know very well how to use those data. So they could easily slash prices and drive out of business any other insurers. So why they shouldn't do it? Well, there are several reasons, but I think the most compelling one is strategic focus. So Tesla is pursuing extraordinarily high profit margin through FSD, robotaxi, and finally Optimus, where insurance, low margin business, would dilute overall profitability and add significant complexity for minimal upside. So why they should do this? A lot of troubles, because if you are the only one that can insure your cars, then of course all the liability is on you and you are the single point of failure. If you have any kind of problem, you don't have any insurance that can cover your car, and you're basically out of business. So it's rare, of course, I agree, the risk is low, but it's still you are a single point of failure. For the benefit of what? Of making a profit that will still be a tiny, irrelevant part of the overall profit of the company. Plus, you dilute the margins. So if you are Tesla now, what you need to maintain the valuation, the high multiple that they have been assigned by investors, is you need to show very high margin. You don't want to show car-like margins or insurance-like margin. You want to show software-like margins, so 80%, and you don't want to dilute it. So that said, Tesla does need its own insurance capability for sure, particularly in the early stage of unsupervised FSD. This is to manage manufacturer liability, because if any other insurer will be willing to insure Tesla cars that drive unsupervised FSD for the reason we were saying, no? Because I mean it's uncharted territory. No, you may have a bug in the software, same day it happens 10 different crashes that are due to the software. What's the liability here? Who knows? Maybe million, maybe billions. Who knows? Maybe pennies. So this uncertainty may drive insurance to say, okay, no, I want just to wait. I will not be the first one. No. And so Tesla must have their own insurance to manage this and to be sure that this is going to fly, right? But beyond that, they don't want to be the only player in the market. Like they're not now for Tesla cars, they already provide insurance. So I think honestly, this is a non-problem actually. Recent developments suggest openness to partnership. Lemonade has integrated directly with Tesla vehicles in several states and publicly offered to insure FSD miles for almost free, citing the technology's superior safety. Okay, so I think again, this is a known problem. We will get over there. So, and if I were Tesla, I'd simply price my own insurance competitively, low enough to pressure non-FSD competitors, potentially driving them out of business, but high enough to allow efficient providers like Lemonade to profit while Tesla earns some margin too. So think about it. Tesla will want they want to push for other car manufacturer to license the FSD that yet is not happening. So to do this, what's the best way, or at least one of the leverage that they will use? Insurance. So what if you, even if you can choose between a Tesla and a pure car that you like, let's say Volkswagen, but you have in one case the insurance that costs you 1,000 per year, in the other case it costs you like 100 per year, then that is a big driver, no? That make you choose Tesla. So I think they will use this leverage to make this shift happen. But no, will not go beyond that. I don't think it's needed. I don't think it makes sense. Okay, guys, so we are still early. Definitely not a problem we need to worry about probably for a few years, because as I said, even though tomorrow, and this will happen in the next few weeks, I think Tesla launch the unsupervised FSD, but adoption will take time. And before to see a meaningful share of private car using unsupervised FSD, it will take, I think, years, right? So this is not something we need to worry about tomorrow, but the fact that I think we can explain why Lemonade will get benefit from this, and Lemonade is actually trying to be early, it's very positive. So it's good to asking questions, try to give answer, to be prepared to when this will happen. Okay, thank you guys. So as always, you can go read the complete article on lorenzo2cents.com. You find all the links in the comments of this video. Subscribe to the channel, and until next time, ciao.